All right, today on the podcast, I'm joined by another Arsenal guest. I'm always glad to have the Arsenal boys on, and it's Mr. Daniel Bailey today, aka the Blind Gooner. How are you doing today, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing well, thank you.
Good to have you on, man.
Yeah, listen, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me on.
No problem. Do you want to tell us a bit about yourself, Daniel?
Yeah, so what do you want to know really? I'm obviously blind as most of you know, or I don't know, your viewers may not know that.
Yeah.
But I go to Arsenal games. I go to them week in, week out. So yeah, ask away, mate. What do you want to know? I'm happy to
Yeah,
to
just
oblige.
yeah, I was wondering, obviously being blind and going to a game, can you describe that experience and what emotions and what you can take from the game without being able to see it clearly?
Yeah, so that's I get this question all the time, and
Yeah.
and it fascinates a lot of people because a lot of people may not know the blind world. Um, so as for you guys, you guys would attend games and you'd just go in and see the game, and there's a lot of you out there that, unless you're in and around the blind community, you wouldn't necessarily know that there's a whole different experience for blind and visually impaired users. So when I go to games, it's essentially, I say it's a different experience. It's essentially the same as you guys. So I
Yeah.
go, I'll meet friends, go to the pub, like a few
A few
like a few
points.
beer, few beers before the game, and a few drinks. Although I have to say, I'm not really a beer drinker. I'm more of a Jack Daniels drinker.
Oh,
So yeah, I tend to have a skinful of that before a game.
you've been nice and warm at
um,
the games.
yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I was never a big beer drinker. I had a
Yeah.
few bad experiences on beer, and it just put me off. So yeah, JD is my preferred drink of choice.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I'll go to the game. I'll go to the pub, and then I'd go to the game itself. I usually am one of these fans that I like to be in the thick of it. So I usually find the noisiest part where all the fans are, and all the all the chants are going, and I like to get stuck right in. I'm not
Yeah.
one of these supporters that will go to that will go and sit in an armchair when you're at games and be like, I don't want to be in the noisiest part. I want to be in the quietest part. Listen, as part of football, you go to be in the thick of it, and it doesn't bother me how rowdy, how rough it is, how sometimes aggressive it. Listen, it's part and parcel of football.
Yeah.
Um, but the game itself, I follow the game. So Arsenal is very good. They have an audio commentary service which is
Okay.
really good. The best way I can describe it is it's like listening to the radio. So if
Okay.
you've ever listened to radio commentary, and I know a lot of sighted people do when they're in their cars driving back or can't get to a game, they stick on the radio to find out the game. That's
Yeah.
that's what audio commentary is like. It's very descriptive. It's what you guys would see on the TV. I'm just getting that described to me, so it's no different, really. So yeah, that's how I follow the game. Really, that's how I follow the game, and essentially the match day is very much the same as you guys, bar the audio commentary part.
Yeah. Do you remember your first game and what was it?
Do you know what? I do actually remember my first game,
Yeah.
and I remember it maybe for all the wrong reasons,
Oh no.
and surprisingly, it's not Arsenal related. So
Okay.
there is a story to this.
Okay.
So I had been an Arsenal member for quite some time, but never actually been to a game because you know yourself, and unless you're a season ticket holder, it's damn hard to get tickets.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm lucky now that I'm a season ticket holder. So listen, you have to wait about 10 years to become a season ticket holder, sometimes longer. I know the disabled supporters waiting list is a little bit less than for regular supporters. So yeah, I had to wait about 10 years. But the first game I went to, and I remember this clearly. So my friend, he was very good at sorting stuff out. So like we would, he was very good at getting tickets for shows, getting tickets for various concerts, and he knew I've always wanted to go to Arsenal. So he's like, listen, let me get you a ticket. I'll try and get you a ticket. And he managed to get me tickets to the Champions League game. We were playing Steaua Bucharest.
Okay.
And we actually lost it 2-1. No, did we win it? Did we lose it 2-1 or did we win it? I think we might have won it. I think we might have won it actually.
Yeah.
Yes, we did win it because I remember Diaby scored one of the goals. I can't remember who scored the other goal. But we did win it. But here's the interesting part. So my mate said, because I was at college at the time, and he said, listen, can you get the afternoon off of college? And I said, I'm not entirely sure. Let me find out. So I managed to get the afternoon off of college. Because I went to a blind college. I went to a blind college in Devon, in Exeter, which is where I live. And he said, "Let me listen. I'll try and blag a college car." I should probably make this point that he worked at the college as well. He was a mate, but he worked. Nothing. Put it on record that nothing untoward or anything. But he said, "Listen, let me grab one of let's see if I can get one of the cars." And he managed to get a college car. And we hoiked up to London to go and see the game. My first time, I think it was my first real proper time that I'd been into London. I'd passed through it before. So I went, I've been 2 years previously, I went to America, but I only went to Heathrow Airport. So this time was my first real proper time into London. And I knew how busy London was, but not really in terms of I've not ever been there. I only really started to get to know London and get to know what London was about through going to Arsenal games after this first experience. So we were up there, and as you know, I don't know whether you've been to London yourself.
Oh yeah, I've been to a couple of games.
Yeah, it's so easy to get lost. So we got lost. We got horrendously lost trying to find the stadium. We ended up finding our way to Caledonian Road, still not finding the stadium.
Okay.
I remember we asked somebody for directions, and he said, "Listen, I'll get in my car. I'll drive you to the stadium." So we followed him in our car, in his car. We ended up getting to the game 20 minutes before it ended.
Oh shit!
We got into the stadium just as Steaua Bucharest scored their goal and missed both the Arsenal goals. But do you know what? It was kind of, I wasn't gutted because it kind of added to your first experience. So when people say, "What's your first experience?" I can tell them what happened, and I don't regret it because I got to see the stadium. I remember it was my first time at the Emirates Stadium, and we got to take some pictures, and I kept those pictures on my phone for about 3 years.
Yeah.
I kept those pictures because it was just like, wow, I've been to the Emirates. I'd finally got to go to an Arsenal game. Listen, I've been an Arsenal supporter a lot long before that, but never really got to go. Like my time was, I was in school still, so I never really was able to go to a game. Listen, I used to watch all the games on the. You remember, with the likes of Pires, Birdcamp, all my legends, and I said, listen, I'd love to go and see those guys play, but never, unfortunately, got to see those guys play for whatever reason. Listen, tickets, trying to get tickets, and when we was at Highbury, it was a lot harder to get tickets because the stadium was a lot smaller. So for disabled supporters, let me tell you this right. In Highbury, they only had 7 pairs of tickets for disabled supporters in Highbury for each game, which was atrocious. So you can imagine they all went to see. So they were for non-season ticket holders, 7 pairs of tickets. All the rest were for season ticket holders. So you can imagine trying to get tickets like gold dust.
Yeah.
When we moved to the Emirates, I know a lot of people regret moving to the Emirates for whatever reason, for challenging for trophies and stuff. But going to the Emirates is honestly one of the best things we've done, because we're able to let more supporters in, especially for the disabled supporters. There's like 1,000 seats now that disabled supporters have. Most of them are season ticket holders, like myself, but they do have. It's a lot easier now to get tickets.
Yeah, and it's a modern stadium as well. Like, you expect the facilities to be better as well, and it is a fantastic stadium. I've been there a few times. Wait till you hear this. I've been to 7 Arsenal games and they've won none.
Wow.
So I'm a really bad luck charm. The worst one was I went to the League Cup final 3 years ago when we played City, and we got bit 3-0. Do you remember that game?
Yeah, I was there at that game. I was there at Wembley.
That was awful, wasn't it?
Yes, it was dreadful. Absolutely dreadful.
And the only tickets I could get was the City end, so I was in the City end with my
top. Man, that's horrible. Yeah, I wouldn't have liked to do that. But yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult to get tickets, and it was difficult at Highbury, and I would have loved to have gone to see the likes of Vieira, Pires. I would love to have gone to see all them play, but it's so hard. But now I'm thankful that. I always said, because I got the bug the first time I went, I was like, it's not the same. Watching it on the telly is not the same as going to it live. So I got the bug. So I became a member. Like, I was a member anyway, but I started applying for tickets, and I worked out how the system worked with the disabled supporters, and I started getting tickets, and then when I obviously got into a position, with finances and stuff and work and all that jazz, I put myself on the season ticket waiting list. So I was like, okay, I want to be a season ticket holder. I want to go week in, week out. And now I'm fortunate that I can do that. I can go, I pretty much go to all the home games, all the away games. So yeah, it's not easy. And I know that there's a lot of people that would love to go to Arsenal, that would love to go to the live games, and it's not easy for whatever reason, whether you live in a different country or live abroad or live, or financial or work related, because it's not the cheapest, especially the season tickets at Arsenal. I'm lucky in the sense that my season tickets, I get them usually half price. So mine, the disabled supporters, so I think for regular supporters, I think it's like about £1,000 or something. It's like the cheapest season ticket.
Yeah,
mine's usually about £400 for a disabled supporter. So I'm lucky. A lot of people, always highlight, because I'm blind, they always say, "Oh, how do you find that challenging?" And yes, I do find it challenging. I find it challenging in difficult ways, but I also find sometimes that I'm lucky. I'm lucky to be in a certain position that I get that other people don't get. So it has its pluses and it has its minuses.
Yeah, usually
being blind.
Yeah, usually when I go to a game, we always end up getting somebody's season ticket that doesn't want to go to a game. So I know a few people over there that are season ticket holders, but for whatever reason, they might want to go to such a game. So I just chuck them a few quid. They give me their ticket. But I always worry, like when I'm carrying in a season ticket and it's not mine, but there doesn't seem to be any checks on these things, is there?
No, it's not. I mean, you'll just have their card and their number, and then you can go to the game. But I don't know whether that will change.
It probably will with
future.
with this COVID and things like that, because there could be, I don't know, they're on about vaccination things for large events and things like that. So things might get a bit tighter that way across the board. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I think it'll go to. I think they'll do something, but I think they just want to get people back in, don't they? The turnstile's full again. So yeah, you just don't know. But like now I'm a season ticket holder, I couldn't envision not going to a game.
Yeah. I bet you can't wait to get back.
I can't wait to get back, mate. Honestly, I tell you, I'm climbing the walls, and it's not the same. When they started with Project Restart back last May, June, and I was like, yeah, great, football's back on, and it was nice, but the novelties certainly wear off. And now I just watch a football match and like, I wish I was there.
Yeah. What have you made of this season so far?
It's not been great, has it? It's not been great. It's been atrocious, if we're being honest. If we're looking at it from a logical point of view, it's been horrendous. Our season is virtually hanging by a thread. Just got this Europa League semi-final, which is on Thursday. I know at the time of recording whether this goes out before that, but hopefully
we win. Put it out on Thursday, so
so hopefully we get a win, but you just don't know, because we've got to get into that Europa League final. Whether we win it is another matter. Listen, it's all but confirmed that we're playing Man United. I can't see them.
No, I can't.
I think the winners of us is going to play Man United. So if we get through, then we're playing Man United. But I'm hoping we do get through. I'm hoping we can turn it around. We've still got a chance. We're only 2-1 down. So we've just got to go in, and we've got to go and play like we can. And I know our home record's not been great, but we've got to just treat it as a cup final. I know it's not a cup final, but we've got to go in there treating it as a one-off game and just get to the final. And then we got a nice breathing space. We've got a nice breathing space before the final. And then, listen, the final's massive, isn't it? The final is absolutely massive. So, yeah, we've just got to get there. And I'm hoping we do. I'm hoping we can pull it off.
In a one-off game, though, like, I think that we can beat kind of anyone on their day. Like, we've seen in the FA Cup run last year, if we get to the final, we can definitely beat Manchester United, no matter how well they're playing,
Yeah, we definitely can. And we need it more than them, let's be honest. But and Arteta's record against Solskjaer is very good.
Yeah.
2 wins and a draw, I think we're at. So I think, because so he took over. So we beat him in January. Then we beat him in 2 wins and a draw, I think it is. 2 wins and a draw.
Unbeaten, when Emery was here, and he was with Arsenal, he kind of put all his eggs into the Europa League basket. If you remember, coming up to the end of the season, he rested players and stuff like that. It's a little bit different this year because Arteta didn't get a chance to put all his eggs in the basket because the league just kind of, the form hasn't been good enough. So it can't come back to maybe he's focusing on the Europa League. He's only focusing on this because we have just been so poor in the league. And if we go out on Thursday and we finish 9th or 10th in the league, then what happens?
That's a difficult question to answer
Yeah.
because me personally, if we go out on Thursday, then there's is you got to question his job
Yeah.
because you look at his record and you look at Emery's record. Emery's got a better record, and he lost his job for less.
Hmm.
And also he would have had a full season, Arteta. So and he's got to be called into question. He's got
Yeah.
to be. You can't underperform. Listen, Chelsea sacked Lampard for less.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
He's,
know, and
he can't just be
and
there on novelty or, because he's an ex-player and a nice guy, for example. He comes across to me now. I'm not anti Arteta. I just want what's best for Arsenal. But he comes across to me like an appointment that was made maybe because he's could be a little bit of a yes man, for the board.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's you could look at it like that. But look, the thing is with Arteta, and he speaks well,
Yeah.
and you see him, and certainly early on in his Arsenal managerial career, he spoke very well. But the problem is he doesn't back that up on the pitch.
Yeah.
So when he first come in, he spoke about all these non-negotiables that went out the window pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
He also talked about players playing based on performances. Again, that went out very quick. We've seen players play well and they've been dropped. And also, you look at him, and some of the stuff he does in games is purely down to a lack of experience.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the Europa League. You just look at last Thursday when he tried to play this false nine in a European semi-final. We've never done that. He tried it against Man City back in October. It didn't work.
Yeah.
Why on earth he would try it in a semi-final when you've not got the players to do that? It's fine if you want to play that system, but don't try and play that system when you don't have the players to do that. So you just look at things like that and his inability to change things quickly. Like he changed things in that game. I think it was like 60, 70 minutes
Yeah. Too
in.
late.
He didn't hook off Danny Ceballos quick enough, which resulted in his red card. And I mean, to be honest, there's going to be no great loss on Thursday because he's been a liability this season, Danny Ceballos. But it's just little things like that. And I don't see how he can keep his job if we get knocked out of the Europa League. If we win it, I can understand why the board would keep him because, listen, there's 2 trophies.
Champions League football.
Yeah, 2 trophies in his season and a half, an FA Cup and Europa League. And then obviously Champions League football again next season. But if we lose it, it's going to have massive ramifications.
Especially financially with no gates at the moment with fans. Like they're relying on this European money, I think, more than ever this summer.
Yeah, and also, no European football next season.
The only...
And that'll be the first time for Arsenal that would have been out of it, Europe.
I can see... I don't know about you, but for me, apart from the financials of it, I don't really find the Europa League that enjoyable to watch. Like, it's a million miles away from the Champions League. So a break away from European football, in a way, could be a good thing if we were to sort out our league form and maybe push on. But I don't think we can do without European football, though, in this climate.
No, I completely agree with you about the Europa League. It's not fit for purpose, in my opinion. I think the only reason why the big teams like it is because it's another route into the Champions League.
Yeah.
So we've been quite lucky with our season in the sense that we've not performed, but we've still got a chance of getting Champions League football via the Europa League. But I'm not sure we can do without a European competition next season just because we need to, if we want to attract the biggest players or attract players that are going to take us to that next level, you need to be in the Champions League. Top players want to play in the Champions League. And unfortunately, at the moment, if we haven't got Champions League football, we're just not really going to get anywhere near the top players that we need.
Do you think we can do it? Do you think we can win the Europa League?
I think we can. Listen, we've got a massive hurdle on Thursday. With playing Villarreal, and listen, Unai Emery's got a really good record in this competition.
He's well
but
up for this.
But he's got some weaknesses. Mm-hmm. He has got some weaknesses, and you can see that again. We saw that when he was managing us. You know, he tried to shut up shop when he thought he had the 2-0 lead. He tried to shut up shop, and we've seen that time before where he's hooked, when he's managed Arsenal and hooked players off, and it's just gone to pot. And we've seen that again, so we can exploit that if we can weather the early storm of him trying to close the games down. Trying to close the games down, shut the tie off, kill the tie. If we can weather that storm, then. Yeah, he might get complacent. Complacency is one of Emery's biggest weaknesses.
Yeah.
And if we can prey on that, like he might try and hold on for this 2-1 lead. Yeah. He might try and go into the game and say, well, we got a 2-1 lead. Let's try and hold that.
Yeah, I'd be comfortable with that.
He knows that we're not good at the Emirates. So he might just say, listen, these aren't good at the Emirates this season, so let's try and hold it. So we can prey on that. And if the team are up for it, that's another big thing. And the other thing we've got to worry about is if Arteta picks the right team. And we need to bring in Aubameyang. We can't have this false nine rubbish because it didn't work.
Xhaka left back as well. It's just not working.
We need Xhaka in midfield. We need him in that midfield. Yeah, we need him in there. Listen, I don't rate Xhaka. I think he's an awful player, but he's the best what we've got right now. So, yeah, we need him in the midfield. We need Aubameyang. We need Pepe. We need Martinelli. We also need Lacazette. And I think we just got to go for it,
Yeah.
I think we just got to try and score at least, because we've got to score at least 2 or 3 goals. If we can score at least 2 or 3 goals and try and just take the game to them and not let them get comfortable, because last week we let them be comfortable. Yeah. They were running rings round us. Rings round us all the time.
I don't think we're going to get the 1-0 win to get us through. I can't see that happening. I just think we're always going to concede. So we are going to need probably 3. If we get 2 and it's 2-1, well, then we're going all the way, maybe.
Yeah. Extra time and penalties. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Well, we can.
And the thing is as well, we need to kind of, we're there away. We need, if they get 1 away goal, that's fine. But if they get more than that, then we're going to have to win by like 4-2 or something, can't we? We're going to have to. We got to win by 2 clear goals then. So it's tricky, but you know what? We can do it. We can do it. We've done it before. We've had similar issues where I think it was against Ostersons as well, wasn't it? We lost that game and then we managed to turn it around, and that day were 2-1 down. I know they're nowhere near at the same level as Villarreal, but we managed to do it. Again with under Emery, we had what was it? Rennes. We lost. In the knockout, we lost 3-1 at home. We got the away goal, but then we managed to turn it around in the home leg. So it can be done. It can be done, but can we do it? I hope so. I really do.
We never do things the easy way at Arsenal, anyway. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you want to, before we wrap up, do you want to tell us a bit about your channel? And I'm going to post all the links in your channel, but do you want to just describe what it entails, who does be on it, what kind of shows you do, etc.?
So yeah, my channel is the Blind Gooner on YouTube. So like I've only had it a year, so I started it a year, and going great guns. So I do shows. I do a lot of shows with other Arsenal podcasters. So guys like Lee Judges, Curtis, people like people like that who have been on who regulars who you might see on AFTV. I also try and get some high profile guests on as well. So I've had Kevin Campbell on. He comes on quite regularly. I've also had Fabrizio Romano on, the journalist. So he's been on. He's coming on again in the summer when the transfer window opens.
Brilliant.
So yeah, I work on getting other kind of high profile guests on as well. And then other than that, I do a lot of laid back shows as well. So I'll do previews, reviews, pre-match build up shows, and sometimes do Q&As and stuff. So you guys can just ask me any questions and that. So yeah, I've got lots of things in the pipeline as well. So it's a great time if you've not checked out the channel before. It's a great time to check it out because I'm about to step up the content, step up the progression of the channel.
Brilliant. Thanks a million for joining us today, Daniel.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you for having me on.
No problem,
It's been
man.
a pleasure.